Inversions can be one of the key parts to a roller coaster. From zero-G rolls to dive loops, there's a plethora of inversions out there. Some rides have great inversions like Max Force. Other rides have really bad inversions like Vekoma SLCs. So today, I would like to give you my top 10 favorite inversions. However, I'm going to do things a bit differently. Typically with a list like this, you have different types of inversions for each number. However, I've noticed that different manufacturers have different ways of making certain elements. For zero-G rolls on B&M inverts, they have whip at the top. Whereas for the RMC zero-G roll, it's smooth the entire time. So without any further ado, let's get on with our list. Number 10, the B&M corkscrew. B&M corkscrews are just like any other corkscrew, except B&M corkscrews have a little bit of whip at the top. They're kind of like the zero-G rolls with this whip. However, it's very intense and very smooth. Some of these inversions, however, are very rough. Take, for example, Raptors at Cedar Points. The corkscrews on Raptor are absolutely dreadful. They whip your head around and they smash it into your over-the-shoulder restraints. Whereas for Wildfire at Silver Dollar City, it is smooth the entire time. Number 9, the loop. For this placement, I didn't really want to highlight a certain manufacturer just because, to me, they're all the same. But there's really nothing bad about loops. Like, we all know them. They're right at the beginning of the ride. They're pretty forceful, especially on B&M inverts. And they're just, in general, fun elements. Number 8, the B&M dive loop. I honestly don't really get the hype around these. Like, Taylor says he loves these elements, and many other people say that too. And I honestly just don't get why someone would like this element. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's kinda Like, it's fun. It's just not the best. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun element. I like this element. I just don't get the hype around it. Number 7, the pretzel loop. Simply put, these elements are just overrated.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
They're fun elements. They're just so overrated. I think these elements are really fun. I like the amount of G's you get. Sometimes you get a little bit of pop. You get a little pop of air at the top. But everyone I see online raves about these coasters, and I don't see why. Why? I don't really understand why people like these elements so much. They're very fun and they're very forceful, but they're not very good. Number 6, the RMC dive loop. Now, this element can only be found at Goliath at Six Flags Great America, which is my home park, RMC. And I've experienced this element enough times to really get a feel for it. And I will probably say that I like this more than the B&M dive loops, specifically because you get hang time at the top. B&M dive loops, it kind of twists as you're, rounding the top. You finish twisting after you're completely 180 degrees upside down. But this one, you rotate a little bit before that and then hang a bit and then you plunge down. So that's why I really like that hang time, and that's why I place this over the B&M dive loops. Number 5, the B&M inline twist. For this one, I'm specifically talking about the one on X-Flight at Six Flags Great America. The inline twist on Gatekeeper is just like the zero-G roll on Gatekeeper, so it's a little bit confusing. So I'm specifically talking about this one. Anyway, this is a true inline twist. You go under this hanger, curve up left, and then you hit this super slow inline twist. It's so fun because you just slowly rotate around, and not to mention the theming. Although I'm not talking about the theming, specifically the element itself. You slowly curve around, and it's so slow, and you get so much hang time. I love it. Number 4, the B&M IMMELMANN. I have no idea why, but for some reason I like this way more than B&M dive loops. I have no idea why. Maybe it's the first half of the loop where you glue to your seat and then you twist out at the top. But all I know is that I really like this element. seems like the majority of people like dive loops more, but I don't know why. I just like this more. You get tons of G's as you travel up, and then you just whip out at the top. I love this element, and it really deserves the number 4 spot. All right, now for the top 3. Now we're really getting into the good inversions. Now, number 3, this is the 0G stall. I love this element. You twist out, and then you just hang and hang for upside down. It's so much fun. Like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? It's it's crazy. Like, I believe the first stall was on Goliath at Great America, but I do know that this ride is just outstanding, and designers really need to put stalls in more coasters. All right, number 2 is the RMC 0G roll. Man, I just love these inversions. They're so smooth. They don't, I've experienced 3. 2 of them are the classic 0G rolls where they're super low to the ground and they're towards the end of the ride. And one of them is on Steel Vengeance right at the beginning where it curves up and goes by the lift hill. But the very tiny ones that are typically at the end of rides, those are just amazing. You're turning and then boom, you hit this 0G roll and it's so smooth. Because you're curving so smoothly, you get weightlessness, and it's so fun. I love this inversion so much. And the number 1 inversion for me is the B&M Invert 0G roll. Man, I just, like, this is by far the best inversion just because I love like I said in the beginning, the whip at the top, just, like, you ease into it, and then boom, you flip around, and you're gone. You're just, like, the intensity is, like, crazy. And what I think is funny is that even though the corkscrews, which also have, similar whip, even though they were awful on Raptor, on Raptor, the 0G roll was is the smoothest I've ever felt, and it had that whip, so it's the best inversion I've ever felt, and this is by far deserving of the number 1 spot. So thank you guys for watching. Sub to the channel. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.